All right, we're here today with Emily Guglielmo. She's an entrepreneur, good friend, Tampa native, and also huge entrepreneur, right? So let's start with the American Mermaid and welcome,
Thank
Emily.
you. Thanks, Patricia. I'm so happy to be here.
Uh, yeah, thank you. So, I mean, we've obviously known each other your whole life, pretty much, right? Old family friends, and it's really fantastic to see your growth locally and where you've taken it globally. So we'll definitely get into that. But like, what inspired you to start your first
Well,
business?
first off, thank you for being here. I feel like I've known you almost my whole life. I wasn't as young as you changing my diapers, but I was definitely a
Yeah,
child. So you've seen me grow up, which is an honor because you've seen me like go through my phases. Um,
absolutely.
so I was born and raised in Tampa, Florida. So I am a Tampa native by heart. I've done a lot of traveling, but always found myself coming back to Florida just because I love the tropical weather. I've tried to live in the snow. Um, Finds out living in the snow is really hard because you have to snowplow your way out, and that's a job before your job, right? So,
Yeah, there's no throwing on flip flops and walking out the
no, it
door.
was a
Yeah,
lot of work. So I found
right.
myself coming back to Florida, and now I reside in Tampa and Orlando.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Very
So,
nice.
tell us a little bit about your business.
Okay, so oh my gosh, what business? I have so many. um, I feel like I'm doing several projects all at once because I can't just do one,
Hmm.
right? I feel like as an entrepreneur,
Yeah.
I have to constantly I have my hand in many baskets, but
Hmm.
I'm really heavy into mermaiding, and right now being that it's July, it's like the peak of the season. So I have like 4 mermaid shows a week, and that entails like going to high-end resorts, and I'll set up like a big clamshell where people can take pictures with the mermaid. And then after I go into the pool and do a lot
Cool.
of like swimming activities, we also do a lot of like swimming training for young kids and water safety,
Hmm.
because water safety is really big for me. I'm a big advocate for water in general.
Mhm.
Um,
Hmm.
so the mermaid has me very busy right now.
So when you say like 4 gigs, is that here locally in Florida or are you elsewhere for that?
Right now it's in Florida, but a lot of times, like
Hmm.
throughout the year, I'll find myself traveling to Canada or Indonesia or the Caribbean, depending on like what projects I'm doing. But when I do go out of the country, it is with like an aquarium when I'm like
Hmm.
swimming with like live sea life and sharks, but the sharks are friendly sharks. And
Yeah, we'll definitely link your links on here,
ironically,
right?
it's
So it's
Shark
you've
Week
got some amazing content.
It's Shark
It
Week.
is Shark Week.
right
Yeah.
now. This week is Shark.
My niece Katie, she's all about sharks. Like
Yes.
that's her thing, right? Shark everything.
It,
um, very nice. And then let's see here. So okay, well, I don't know if it's specifically for this business or all your businesses, but what's your favorite part about running your own business and being that entrepreneur
Yeah.
and it's inspiring a lot of people, across, you
So
know,
I
across.
guess it kind of goes back to like when I was a teenager, and I would, um, uh, not to say that I saw my parents struggle, but I saw a lot of like challenging aspects of like a 9 to 5. And so I
Mhm.
knew that's not what I wanted. I wanted to be able to be my own boss, create my own schedule, and have the ability to make as little or as much money, depending on how hard I want to work. Right. So being an
Mhm.
entrepreneur is such a blessing because you can like take a week off, or the following week, if I go really hard, I make more money. For example, like a couple weeks ago, I took the whole week off. And when you take a week off as an entrepreneur, you're not necessarily like being proactive and
Off.
getting new clients or bringing in money.
Hmm.
So the following week, I did a lot of phone calls and was able to get new clients. So it really is like how hard you want to work. I was able to take time off because I wanted like a break, and I didn't have to like call in and say, "Hey, I'm sorry, I can't go to work today." So I'm really honored to be able
Yeah.
to have that. It's actually a luxury to be an
Hmm.
entrepreneur.
Most definitely.
Absolutely. Yeah. And let's see, I just hopped over. I apologize. So do you want to speak on where starting, with, I mean, through modeling, acting, all of everything, but you also have other nonprofit and another business as well,
Yeah.
um, which I think is
Um,
fantastic.
so I
So,
feel like as an entrepreneur, I kind of like
hmm.
evolved in the chapters of my life. So I have a cosmetic line called Emily Guglielmo Cosmetics, as you know, Patricia.
Hmm. I do know.
Um,
Yeah, it's great.
but I'm actually, so I'm not dissolving the brand, I'm evolving the brand.
Hmm.
So instead of Emily Alexander Cosmetics, it's now Siren Skin skincare. Uh, so
Okay.
I'm kind of like rebranding, and the slogan is skincare is the new cosmetics. So all of my new
Hmm.
products that I'm creating are more in a sense like sun protection with an aspect of makeup in it, which I'm actually wearing side in right now.
I mean, that's like as natural glow as you, I mean, it's beautiful. Yeah.
So
I
it's
love
like
it. I
it's
love it.
not as heavy as makeup, but it's still sun protection. It's water resistant, and it's clean. It's healthy for your skin because I feel like nowadays people are really leaning towards the more less is more. They're not going so heavy with makeup, and people are really
Hmm.
big into sun protection and clean ingredients like healthy skin. So
Hmm.
I am completely rebranding my cosmetic line into more of like a skincare line. So
Nice.
that is one project that I do um, on the side, and then I'm really big, extremely busy with mermaid gigs right now. But the peak of the mermaid season is really in the summer months, which is right now, and then when I get into fall, that kind of goes down. So then I have more room
Hmm.
and time and energy to focus on other projects, right? So coming to the
Yeah.
fall, I'll be able to focus more on my skincare. Um, I'm currently starting with Lance a mulch business, which is like completely
Oh,
like off
okay.
the left field. Um, and I also have a house in Tampa that I'm wanting to like I'm in the process of like reinvent inventing. So I got the
Hmm.
house and now I need to like restructure it, get a new roof. Um
So it's project on project
right,
too, right?
right.
So,
And I've caught myself having to put that on pause, which Selena, who you introduced me to, I told her I said, I'm
hmm,
so
yeah,
sorry. Just give me a little bit. I'm like wildly busy right now. But that's another project because the house that I've purchased is just sitting there and it's vacant, but it
yeah.
needs a new roof and it needs to get renovated. Um, so that
It's time. Things are time too, right?
right.
Yeah.
So it's like I have all the,
Um,
but it's a blessing because I can literally wake up and be like, okay, what do I want to do today? Do I want to do this or do I want to do that? Like it's really kind of like I can pick and choose what project I want to work on and how hard I want to work.
and I think that's the main thing that you've stressed so far too. It's the work that you put into it and how hard you work, right? Because there's a lot of people, that has, great business ideas, or they give it a shot, or they make a couple of videos or something, and they don't see the immediate return on it. And, once you're, it's a
Yeah.
mindset thing. And once you understand that everything takes time and commitment and consistency, and everyone has their
Yeah.
own journey. There's no set
So true.
anything on this, right? So it is an adventure every day that you can kind of choose to do what you want to do. But for those that are observing, I mean, there's a lot of work and time that goes into that,
It's so
right?
true.
So
Like a lot of people don't realize
yeah,
they kind of look at the end product. They don't see the sweat
exactly.
equity behind closed doors. They only see like the beautiful like photo on Instagram or they see the final
Yeah.
product. Like they don't realize the hard sweat equity that got into that. But thank you.
hmm Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think, you know, when you're an entrepreneur, you do have that understanding, right away on the flip side of
Right.
things. So
And some
for
days
sure.
can be till 3 a.m. or
Yeah.
you
hmm
know it just kind of varies. But I took about almost 2 years off of um of the makeup because my mom passed away 2 years ago. So
Mhm.
now getting back into the groove of my of that brand, I'm really excited to relaunch and rebrand Siren Skin skincare and really press press forward with that because attached to that brand is my nonprofit, which is supportingwater.org. And that's a
hmm
nonprofit organization that I founded back in 2018, where I find and raise monies to bring drinking water to emerging nations in new and innovative ways. So
hmm
a few years ago, I did a mission in Africa and Kenya, and we flew to Mombasa and also off the coast of Diani Beach in the rural villages. We were able to put this absolutely fascinating. We were able to put this infrastructure of a water filtration system that needed no plumbing and no piping. So
Mhm.
it was
Nice.
literally this machine, this
hmm
filtration system machine that is energized by solar, and it creates and filters water from the sun and through the air.
hmm
So it was incredible, and
Wow.
that was funded by Emily Alexander Cosmetics. So now that
Very
I'm able
nice.
to like really work on the new brand and structure like missions coming next year, I'm really excited because that was just such an eye opener to be able to go overseas and get my feet wet, no pun intended, with the nonprofit. See like how it is firsthand to make a difference with the money, not just like donate.
And not even just yeah, I mean, that we just seeing the footage of it too. I mean, it's incredible just the smiles that you brought and the difference, right? That you just that one trip is made and through your cosmetics.
Yeah.
So that's incredible. That's incredible. Good for you,
And to
you
be a
know?
part of it. So a lot of people they make a difference by donating, which is incredible. But to be able to actually be
Mhm.
involved in the mission actively was what I'm so excited. So next year in 2025, we're working on at least one. I'm gonna try for two, but some missions that we can actually like really implement some foundation of like water filtration system or some type of
Mhm.
program with like the women's shelter. Uh, a lot of really good things. But that's like such a passion like of mine deep down. So a portion of every purchase of the brand goes back into
Mhm.
supportingwater.org, and that's just one way that we get funding.
Very
Nice.
nice.
So the uh, what so what's your favorite thing about like Florida? Like what brought you kind of back the area?
The sun, the heat. Like
The sun.
I love to be hot. Like if I'm sweaty, like that.
You're a happy
I'm happy
camper.
when I'm like sweating. People are like, "You're so crazy," but I love to be out in the sun. Like I feel my most best when I'm at the beach under the heat, like actually like like dripping sweat. That is like my happy place. Um,
That's so funny. That's well, then you're in the perfect place,
yeah,
right?
and in Tampa, I was born and raised in Tampa, so being that
Mhm.
if I can like give back or stay involved in some way, um,
Mhm.
it makes me happy. And a lot of my family's still here. And and just
Yeah.
because I am here doesn't mean I still can't travel, but I like to reside in Florida.
Yeah.
Very cool. So I have a bonus question that's not on there. I apologize, but I'm involved with the Kidpreneur Club, and basically those are kid-owned businesses. So do you have a tip? Or did you were you as a child for yourself? Did you have the ambition or idea of wanting to have your own business as a child?
Good question. Um, well, okay, so as a child, I would do like garage sales or lemonade stands. Um,
Yeah.
but it wasn't until I was a teenager that I was really starting to like try and manifest like more of like a business aspect of it.
Hmm.
So I think that's incredible that these kids are actually like starting their own
This is
businesses with
It really
products.
is. Yeah, and it's very cool, and they have their own vendor table, and they have their own events throughout Tampa Bay,
It's amazing.
and or involved in other arts and crafts festivals or shows. And but yeah, it's really
I love
inspiring,
it.
and I think with you, yeah, I'd love to. We'll talk on that later too. I think, which would be great for you to maybe speak to those
I
kids
yeah,
even.
that is yeah, that's
Yeah.
such an inspiration that kids are trying to think
Hmm.
out of the box like that. Because for me, when I was a child, I don't know if my mindset was there yet. It wasn't until I
Right.
was
Right.
like older.
And it's pretty impressive too. I mean, we've got from handmade items that they've sold to service based,
Amazing.
right? They could be a photographer with a Polaroid, with a little setup. So it's neat. It's neat. But yeah, no, and I think Tony, you had another question,
yes.
I
So
think.
like, how has like social media and technology like impacted your businesses?
So I feel like for me anyway, I was kind of late to the
Hmm.
game with social media. A lot of people when they were like on MySpace and then Facebook, I didn't get on that um until Instagram hit. So I was number one, I was late to the game. But once I got onto Instagram, I realized the influx in just the opportunity. It really makes the world so much smaller. You're
Hmm.
able to connect with anyone literally within a second, and you have this like accessibility to see really famous people or people that have like a large following or people that make a really big impact, and you can actually
Hmm.
connect with them immediately. It almost seemed like too good to be true, right? So I would
Right.
go on
Yeah.
and start DMing these individuals that were high profile, if you will, and just kind of see if they
Hmm.
would respond back. Well, some of them did, some of them didn't. But to have that capability
Hmm.
to reach out to almost like anyone, so to speak, is really powerful, and it's for free. If you
Yeah.
start,
Yeah, and that's the thing, you're reaching out, right? So no one's sitting around, like, again, I think it's the work ethic that's going into that. So that reaching out is engaging and touching base, and
yeah,
it's really like anything is possible if you make it
yeah.
happen. Like you really have to just do it,
Well, and
right? Or
exactly.
just keep putting those steps forward towards that direction, and eventually,
A lot of people are like, "Oh, well, what if it doesn't work out?" Well, you have to at least try. And a lot of my luck
Exactly.
has actually been because I tried. If I would have
Hmm.
not have tried to reach out to this person, or if I did not try to create my makeup line, which my makeup line went through phases, um, at the very beginning, it wasn't successful. But then I tried it again, and then boom, it was. What if I didn't try it a second
Hmm.
time? So a lot of it's
Right.
really trial and error because I don't know what I'm doing honestly. Like I'm just going through life learning as I go. So,
I think we
but
all are.
and it just
Yeah.
so happened
Minute by minute.
like boom, I
Yeah.
got lucky. Boom, that happened, or boom, that worked. Why did it work? Because I tried it. So you never know until you try.
Yeah.
Yeah. Number one
Yeah.
message right there for sure. Yeah. Um, all right. Well, I think Tony,
Yeah.
anything
No, thank you
else?
so much for coming on. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, Emily, appreciate you and looking forward to seeing you grow even further, and we'll tag your products and
Thank
your
you.
links. And I highly recommend following her in her different pages or
Yeah.
channels, just because there's so much there's so much to it. And the fact that you said, the makeup line went through its phases, and if it wasn't successful the first round, most people probably wouldn't try
Right.
back, and you
Exactly.
did. Like, was it just the timing of that, or was it the marketing that was different? Because it's the same product, right?
Right.
Um,
So I think a lot of it was the marketing and how I like approached it
mhm.
and like promoted it. Um, so
Would you say more social media, like more than before,
social
or?
media is a big one. Also the
Mhm.
people that you get involved with and that
Mhm.
collaborate with you uh, really
Sure.
help to explode your presence and your brand. So um, trying to connect with like certain or the right people. Because a lot of, I mean, collaboration is everything. I can't do this by
Mhm.
myself. Um, and I tell everyone
And this is a form of collaboration right here,
exactly,
right? So doing a podcast or duetting somebody or remix, you're collaborating, you're partnering up, and you're kind of sharing your audience too, and just even more awareness out there of what we can all do,
exactly.
right? Not everyone can do
Yeah,
everything. So,
collaboration is key. Like I could
mhm,
not obviously do this by myself. Nobody that is successful does anything alone, right? So you
Mhm.
are
mhm.
you're only as good as the people around you. So the more that you can like try and reach out to different people and expand your network is your net worth.
Goody.
Um,
Mhm.
and it's not always like butterflies and rainbows. There's I feel like there's
Sure.
chapters where it's like really really good, and then there's a chapter or a season in my life where it's extremely challenging and I actually lose money. But then the following season, I bounce back and I'm like triple good. So
Mhm.
it's not like a linear type of journey. It's definitely like
Mhm.
up and down, whoa, 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 whoa. So it's a journey. It's
It's
a
a
ride.
ride. It's a ride. It's a fun ride.
Exactly. I wouldn't
Right.
change it for the world.
Oh, good. Good. Well, looking forward to seeing more as we go through the years, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So thank you so much for your
Thank you
time. And
guys.
thank you.
I love you guys.
Love you too. Thank you.